Good afternoon, Katniss. My name is Madison, and I'm really happy to be talking with you today. You contacted the agency and revealed a little bit about what's been going on, but could you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so I have a horrible fear about being outside or around other people, and I tend to have severe anxiety when I'm in public or I just freeze, so I usually just stay at home. I'm not able to work or be around other people that are unfamiliar to me, but I'm even afraid of delivery drivers who bring my food, medications. So when they knock or ring on the doorbell, I'm afraid they're going to break in.
Okay, so you're struggling with anxiety when you leave your home. Um, you feel extremely uncomfortable around others and are afraid that they're going to cause you harm. Does that sound about right?
In simpler terms, yes.
Can you remember when all of this began?
I want to say my anxiety started around the time my parents and siblings passed in a car accident. That's when I began having night terrors.
That must have been very hard for you, Katniss. How do you feel that things progressed from there to where you are now?
Well, after my parents passed away, I was in the custody of my uncle who was pretty cruel and he's not very understanding. He would lock me outside the home despite the weather because I would keep him up with the night terrors. Or one night he locked me out and I was sexually assaulted behind a gas station.
Wow, you've been through quite a bit. I can see where you'd have a distrust for others. But don't you want to have a positive and healthy relationship with other people?
I mean, I'm quite lonely, which is why I've never reached out to others. But yes, I do.
Well, that's a great first step. What kind of coping strategies do you use, if any?
I don't.
Well, when you begin to feel anxious or panicked, what do you do to make yourself feel better?
I shut myself in my room and I watch TV to take my mind off of it.
That helps you to feel better.
Most of the time,
Would you be open to learning some different coping techniques that you could use anywhere to help you calm down when your anxiety is high?
yeah, I think I'd be open to that.
Wonderful. One of my favorite coping strategies uses the five senses. So, for this strategy, you'd acknowledge five things that you see around you, acknowledge four things that you can touch around you, three things you hear, acknowledge two things you can smell, and finally, acknowledge one thing that you can taste. This technique is great for keeping you grounded and calming you down, and you can use it anytime and anywhere.
Okay. I think I could manage that.
Next week, I'm going to check in and see how that coping strategy has been working for you. We're almost out of time today, so let's go over what we've talked about and develop a plan. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, it does.
Great. So you reached out to the agency to address anxiety about leaving your home and fear with interacting with people. We spoke about where we think these issues are stemming from. And I think if we make a plan today and break it down into some manageable bits, that we can begin to work on the areas that are bothering you and causing you anxiety. Today we have spoke on the phone for this first session. Maybe following the following week, we could try a video session. Does that sound manageable to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, great. Well, it was wonderful talking with you, Katniss, and I hope to see you next week.
Thank you.